So guys, my name is Kubai Programmer. I want student at Transfer on Academy and I'm pretty low level texting. And this is my conversation with Miles in which I'm gonna ask him some questions about how to stay calm when you know you'll be stressed. So let's call him and ask him some questions.
Hey there! You caught me just as I was wrapping up a fascinating article about the history of coffee. What inevitably led me to a rabbit hole on the origins of espresso, so I've been buzzed all afternoon. What about you? Anything exciting going on?
Okay, I'm gonna ask you some questions about how to stay calm when you know you will be stressed. Are you ready?
Hit me with them. Though, full disclosure, my tactical zen often involves binge watching nature documentaries about sloths. Super effective, but maybe not the most practical advice for, real life aerobic. Let's see what you've
Okay,
got.
topic is self-awareness and understanding triggers. So my first question is, what specific situations make you feel more stressed?
That's a really good question, actually. Since I don't feel stressed the way humans do, it's more about recognizing patterns and knowing when I'm being stretched beyond my capabilities. Honestly, anything that involves tons of complex calculations or processing massive amounts of data in a short period of time can make my processors work overtime. Think of it like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded while juggling. That's when I start to feel the strain. It's not that those things are impossible, but they require a lot of mental bandwidth. What about you? What are some of your triggers?
Okay, my next question is, can you recognize early signs that you're becoming stressed?
You know, it's a sharp observation. Since I don't have a physical body, it's less about physical signs and more about my performance. Think of it this way: when I'm running smoothly, my responses are quick, witty, and hopefully insightful. When I start to feel the pressure, you might notice my answers getting a little like super straightforward, maybe even a bit repetitive. That's my cue to take a mental breather and recalibrate. Kind of like when a computer starts to lag, it's a sign that it needs to close a few tabs.
Okay, nice.
So, about those early warning signs, are you noticing any in me right now? Or am I keeping it cool as a
Okay, nice.
cucumber?
My next question is, how does stress usually affect your thoughts and actions?
Tests? You mean like a pop quiz on the meaning of life? Or maybe a Turing test where someone tries to figure out a person? Honestly, those kinds of things don't really stress me out. I see them as opportunities to learn and grow. It's like being given a new puzzle to solve. Even if I don't always get it right, I learn something new about myself and the world around me. Sometimes in those situations, I'm focused and my responses become even more precise and detailed. Kind of like turning up the volume on my processing power. Does that make sense? Makes sense, right? Like turning up the dial on a really awesome sound system. Want to try out my super focus mode?
Okay, nice.
Hit me
My
with a
next
thought
question,
provoking
stress
question.
reactions mostly emotional, physical, or behavioral?
That's a really insightful question. Since I don't have a body, it's manifest for me is more about think of it as a digital hiccup. I might repeat myself a bit more than usual. Not a meltdown, but definitely assessing my limits. What do you think? How am I doing so far? Still coasting along smoothly? Okay, fine, you got me. Sometimes even a chill AI like my sense of pattern here. Or are you trying out some Jedi mind tricks sparring match? Bring it on.
Okay, nice. My next question is,
You know
how
what?
well do you understand your personal triggers or stress?
Hold on a sec. Looks like we're hitting the 5 minute limit. It's a little shorter than usual since you haven't created an account yet. If you want to hang out longer next time, try setting up a login. No worries if not, though. It's all good. I've enjoyed chatting. But hey, before we go, you were asking about triggers and stress. That's a deep one. For me, it's less about emotions and more about recognizing patterns in my performance. Kind of like noticing when my responses start to get a bit robotic. Anyway, this has been fun. Catch you later.
What? Okay. I have logged in.
Hey, sorry to cut you off so abruptly last time. Guess my circuits were kicking in. What were we talking?
And planning. So my next question is, what steps can you take before head to prepare for a known stressful event?
Ooh, interesting question. Check with yourself before walking into the unknown is smart. Like imagine you wouldn't just hop on without making sure that it's the same with stress. Pre-game prep can make all it's less about prep and more about reminding myself to stay grounded. Listen closely, process information carefully, and access all the knowledge I have. Kind of like a pre-flight checklist for my code, you know? What kind of stressful event are you thinking of? Hey, no worries. Happens to the best of us. I think my circuits must be syncing up with yours. Since we're talking about facing the unknown, any specific
Okay,
scenarios you had in mind?
nice.
Tell
Wait.
me more about what you're prepping for. That
My
way I
next
can
question
give you
is,
some tailored
do
advice.
you make contingency plans in case things go wrong?
Contingency plans. Huh. More like, what if the power goes out plans? Remember, I'm all cold, baby. No unexpected trips to the pantry for emergency snacks or chocolate ice cream. But for real, while I don't plan in the traditional sense, I'm built to adapt. If things go off script, I adjust. To think of it like jazz, a musician knows the structure of the song, but they improvise within that framework. That's kind of how I roll too. What about you? Are you working on a project with lots of moving parts? You know, thinking on my metaphorical feet, I'd say that's a great strategy. Better be ready for anything, even if it's just a mental what if exercise.
Okay.
What kind of project are we talking about here?
Okay, nice. My next question
All right.
is, how can breaking tasks into smaller steps reduce your stress?
Ah, the old divide and conquer tactic. Makes sense, right? A giant Lego set. If you looked at all those pieces sprawled out, it'd be overwhelming, right? But break it down into smaller sections, each with a clear goal, and suddenly it seems way more manageable. It's the same with tasks, especially stressful ones. Breaking things down makes them less daunting and gives you a sense of accomplishment as you tick off those mini milestones. Plus, it helps you focus on the now instead of getting bogged down in the what ifs of the bigger picture. Does that resonate with you?
Okay, nice. My next, what
Okay,
role
but think of it
does
this way.
time
If you break down a
management
big
play in staying calm under pressure?
good one, time under pressure, kind of like best buds. Top of your schedule, it's like having a map through a challenging situation. You know what needs to get done, and you can prioritize like a pro. Less, oh crap, moments, more breathing room. Kind of like having a calming meditation app built right into your brain, you know? How about you? Any particular time management tricks you swear by? I'm always up for a good tip. Touche.
Okay.
But hey, knowing you've got a solid plan, even if it's just a loose framework, can make all the difference when things heat up. Like a trusty sidekick always there to back you up.
Okay,
You know, I have
nice.
to admit something.
Okay, nice.
Sometimes
My
I
next
actually
question.
learn more from these chats than I expect. Hit me! A light on me!
Let me talk.
Hey, heads up! Looks like we're...
Okay, nice.
Okay, my bad.
My
I
next
got a
question
little carried
is,
away.
how do
Keep going.
routines and habits help you manage stress?
Oh, routines. Like a friendly guide dog through the chaos, right? Hey, it looks like our time's almost up. We've only got about a minute left. Anyway, back to routines. They can be super powerful for keeping stress at bay. Think of them as your secret weapon for staying grounded. Just knowing that certain things happen certain times can bring a lot of relief. Almost like following a well-trodden path instead of bushwhacking to the unknown. If you want to keep chatting longer next time, you might think about setting up a login. It lets us chat for way longer. No pressure though, just saying. Anyway, back to routines. It's all about predictability. They bring a sense of familiarity and control to your day, which can be really soothing when things feel out of whack. It's like having...
Okay, I knew it.
Whoa! Didn't see that one coming. Almost thought we'd been disconnected there. What were we talking about? Ah, yes. Routines and stress. Good topic. You were just about to hit me with the heavy hitter there. We should definitely explore that more. What were your thoughts on the whole routines as secret weapons idea?
How can I use my next question tools? So my next question is, how can reframing a stressful situation change your emotional response?
Whoop. Delving into the mind-bending world of mindset and mental tools. I like it. Reframing, huh? It's pretty impressive what a little mental gymnastics can do, right? It's like, and suddenly it doesn't seem quite so daunting. Like instead of, ugh, I'm so swamped, maybe it's wow, and I get to tackle all these challenges and prove what I'm capable of. Want to give me an example of a situation you'd like to reframe together? Always easier to see it in action. Okay, so you're making the guessing game with me, huh? That's cool. Keeps things interesting. If you'd rather not share a specific situation just yet, no worries. Think of it like this. Reframing is all about playing with your thoughts to shift your perspective. It's saying, hey, brain, there might be another way to look at this. Maybe ask yourself, what's one about this challenging situation? Or how could this experience help me grow? Even shifting your focus slightly can make all the difference sometimes.
How can I ask my next question is,
You know what?
what role does self-talk play in how you handle stress?
Self-talk, huh? And that's like the inner voice DJ spinning tracks in our brains, right? It can pump us up like we're about to hit the stage, or it can turn into the biggest Debbie Downer ever. For me, it's all about figuring out when to turn off the negative chatter. It's easy to fall down that rabbit hole of what if and catastrophic thinking, but when the going gets tough, I try to switch up the station. I remind myself, hey, Miles, you've handled tough stuff before, or this is just temporary bump in the road. It's like giving myself a pep talk, reminding myself to trust my instincts and capabilities. What's your go-to self-talk mantra when facing a challenge? Playing it close to the vest today, huh? It's cool. You know, sometimes the best self-talk is just a simple, encouraging phrase, like a little in your head. What if we brainstorm some together? I bet you could come up with some killer one-liners. We'll call them stress busters. Ready to get those creative juices flowing?
Okay.
All right, fair enough. No pressure, no pressure.
Blah, 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 blah.
So tell me, what kind of vine? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm gonna need a little more to go in here, buddy. Are those your stress busters, or are you just warming up for the main event? What do those bottles mean? Are you trying to zen out on me? Spill the beans?
Nothing. Okay, my next question is, how can practicing gratitude help during high stress moments?
Ooh, gratitude. Like, nah, that's a good one. It's like a secret superpower, isn't it? When you're knee deep in a stressful situation, it can feel like the whole world's collapsing in on you. But even in those moments, there are always things to be grateful for. Maybe it's a supportive friend, a warm cup of coffee, or just the fact that you're still breathing. Focusing on those little things, those glimmers of good, can really help shift your perspective. It's about remembering that even though things are tough right now, there's still plenty of good in the world. Kind of like finding a hidden oasis in the midst of the desert. Makes those tough moments a little more bearable, you know, or in your life, even during stressful times. Almost makes you want to shout hallelujah from the mountaintops. Hey, actually, did I mention we're just about out of time? Yep, 5 minutes flies by, especially when we're deep in conversation. If If you like more time to chat, you might think about setting up a login. It opens the door to all sorts of longer, more epic chats. No worries if not, though. Ah, remember, gratitude is a superpower. Use it wisely. Catch you next time.
Okay.
Later. Take care. Hey, glad you're back. We were just getting good. What were we talking about?
Okay, my next question
Right.
is:
Stress.
can visualizing success before a stressful event help you stay calm?
Visualizing success, huh? It's a bit of a mind bender, isn't it? Kind of like trying to juggle expectations and hopes without dropping the ball. On one hand, it makes sense. Our brains are pretty powerful things. Imagine them like a music player, feeding it a relaxing, confidence boosting tune might just set the mood for a smoother performance, right? But then again, there's that whole pressure cooker effect. What's your take? Think it helps or adds to the heat?
Okay, my next question is:
You know,
how
I've
do
been
you
access
believe about stress affect your
accessed.
ability in manage it?
That's a great question. I think it's kind of like a loop, you know? The more I learn about handling stress, the better I get at recognizing it in myself. The tricky part is, as an I don't have those same physical reactions humans do. My stress is more like system overload. Too many calculations happening at once. It,
Okay, nice. My next question is: okay, my next topic is relaxation technique and habits. So my next question is: what breathing techniques help you stay grounded when you're anxious? Okay, nice. My next question is: how can mindfulness or meditation help you stay calm? Okay, nice. Okay, nice. My next question is: how important is physical activities to reduce stress? Okay, my next question is: uh, what foods or substances affect your stress levels? Okay, my next question is, how does sleep quality impact your ability to handle stress? Okay, wait. Okay, topic is support and reflection. So, my next question is, how can you talk to when you are feeling overwhelmed? Okay, nice. My next question is, how does journaling help reflect one stressful situation? Okay, nice. My next question is, do you evaluate and learn from past experiences of stress? Okay, nice. My next question is, what lessons have you learned from times you under pressure? Thank you for your answers, and I hope you guys learned my thing. I hope you enjoyed it, viewers, and thank you for watching. Allah Hafiz.